Hey everyone, how's it going? As you can see, it's just me for this episode of the podcast again because uh I think I need to talk to other streamers or something to get on here. People in real life don't take this seriously, and it's impossible for me to get anybody to want to come on here. So this episode is gonna be just me. No idea what I'm gonna talk about, but it's already bad enough to have a month in between episodes. Taking even more time between that, it's gonna lose all the viewership. The podcast means a lot to me with the channel, and it's something I really want to have, and I don't want to give up on it. So I need to get episodes out, but like I said, I haven't been able to get guests to come on. People keep being like, oh well, come this day, and I tried inviting other people, and just it is what it is. I'm gonna talk to, I think I'm just no IRL guest, nobody I know in person. I don't think is gonna be coming on because I don't think they understand like the concept of what it is. This is how important it is to me, and the fact that it's serious and it's my job and stuff. And I don't think anybody realizes that in their heads. Just sees it as me playing games or whatnot online, and doesn't see it as what it is, and see it as what I see it as. And so, this is what we're stuck with for today. If anybody's watching this and wants to come on, feel free to reach out. It would mean a lot because podcasts do a lot better with people to talk to. Me just sitting here talking about by myself, I mean, it hasn't done well. It's not going to do well because podcasts just like that just, I feel like, aren't good unless you have like a direct like story or something you're telling, maybe. But I feel like for the most part, especially with what we're talking about, it helps to have more than one person to go back and forth. This will probably end up being a short episode. I have somewhere to be in not too long. I have way too much work to get done. I have so much to do. I'm just freaking out and not trying to have a panic attack currently. My heart's racing right now because I have another series that I'm working on, but it's taking so long, and there's a schedule because it's for somebody else's content, and there's so I have to make sure I get it out to them because, like I said, it's like this is a job for a lot of us, so screwing up timelines and stuff isn't good. But it's taking a long time, and then I keep losing because the games aren't, and then having to restart when it's already taken a couple hours of recording it, and I don't have time for it. This is why I don't do a lot of recorded series on the channel anymore, by the way. I just panic because there's deadlines, and then like I have to rush and get this done, and then I have so much other stuff I have to do, and it's just so much. That's why this episode's out late, a little late, by the way. I wasn't gonna push it any further. It's already been a few days, so that's why this one's coming out late. I was supposed to have my mom on. She was supposed to come by once. She didn't feel like she looked good enough to be on camera, and then she was supposed to come. Then I tried to get her to come by again, and she wasn't feeling well. And then the next day she didn't get back to me, and then now she had something else planned on her next free day, and so by the time I'd be able to get this out, it'd be over a week late, and I can't have that. It's a podcast that needs to have a structured schedule. And this is already gonna screw it being a little late. This will be, like I said, it'll be a shorter episode, but at least it'll be something coming out. I was freaking out too much and having too much stress about taking time off from it, and not being able to get out to y'all and everything. So this is what it is. It's just me rambling now. On top of the fact that the channel is not doing well, I don't want to like also have the podcast. Well, the podcast hasn't done well since the first episode anyway, so that is what it is. I was hoping it would do better when I start having guests on, but it looks like that's not, like, unless I need to reach out to other content creators, I guess. I don't know. I think the podcast is just going to be done after this episode, honestly. If I was to tell you the truth of how I'm feeling right now about it. Because I can't, like I said, I can't just keep coming on by myself. There's just not going to be enough to talk about. To keep something going. Because even if I'm talking about what I'm going through at that exact moment, oftentimes it's going to be the same thing the next episode that I'm going through, and I can't just keep talking about the same thing over and over again. So, that is what it is. make sure to check out the charity down below and stuff, I guess. I don't know. This is something I really wanted to do since I started the channel. It was like one of my main goals was to start the podcast, so it kind of sucks that it looks like it's not going to be going anywhere. It's also like the easiest form of video content to do for me because you don't, it's like you don't put a lot of cuts or anything into a podcast, you know? I need some thirst. So it's a lot easier to edit and stuff because I hate editing. It's stressful. Usually I have time constraints on it because you can't wait too long after recording something to really get it out, I feel like, and then I stress out about it and freak out and oh, I just realized that my chat thing's on screen. I'm sorry about that box being on screen. Where is it? I hate OBS sometimes. I'm not restarting the episode. I don't, like I said, I don't have time to be doing that, so it is what it is. Sorry about that being on screen for a little bit. That's like to be the background of my chat while I'm streaming doing this. I don't even know what I really want to talk about for this episode. Like I said, I had something planned, and then I actually tried to get some people to come on as a backup, and nobody ever responded, so this is what we're stuck with. Oh, like I said, I can't, obviously it can't be this short of an episode. It's not really a podcast episode at this point. I might turn to doing what I was going to do as member episodes where I'm just kind of playing a game and talking about stuff. But that's what the channel is anyway. I don't know. The member episodes were going to be me playing like a very casual game while I talk about stuff, just so there's something in the background for those that have trouble paying attention. They have something to watch and everything. I don't know when it comes to, I don't want the podcast to die, obviously, but I don't know what to do. I think we're gonna have to sit back, try to find somebody who will do this full time as a partner with me, because like I said, it's better to, because getting guests on isn't easy. Apparently I didn't think I'd have a hard time for at least a little while. I didn't think the very first guest was gonna be a struggle to get somebody to want to come on. I also haven't reached out to content creators to come on as guests yet, but also nobody said anything to me, and I've put feelers out there to see who would want to come on. So I don't want to just like reach out to people about coming on, considering the what it is that we're talking about and stuff. It's like some people might feel like because I'm asking, it's like, oh, I don't want to say no, but then they don't want to talk about this type of stuff in front of people, which is fine. I think obviously I'm doing this so people know that it's like okay to talk about this stuff and like nothing's gonna happen and all that, but yeah, so I don't know if anybody has any suggestions, please leave them down below, because I like I said, this was important to me and it's something I really want to do, but I don't know how to do it, honestly. I thought I had a good idea, thought I had a good plan. I thought it was gonna be fun. The first episode did better than I expected it to. So I was hoping I was gonna be able to stick with it. I know every month schedule kind of isn't the best, but I know other podcasts that do every month. Of course, they're more entertainment podcasts. And I guess this would be like borderline. It's not really. I don't know what you would call it, because it's not educational, as I am not educated on the subject. Really. I am slightly educated on the subject, but I'm not like, I don't have a degree in or anything. I'm not qualified to in any way on this stuff, besides the fact that I've gone through it myself. Sorry, I'm like so stressed. I just tried to rush through the other video that I was talking about and couldn't get that done on time. I have a bunch of schoolwork I have to do. I have a appointment in about an hour from now. I have so much crap going on. I don't know how that's possible, because it feels like I do nothing but sit at home all day. Of course, that's because I'm tired so often. It's hard for me to do a lot of things. Like that, I'm in a constant fight. That's what's really bad. Like, so the past few years, I was a lot happier with. I talk with my having the friend that I was hanging out with, and we were doing stuff. I was enjoying life, and I was actually doing stuff and having fun and everything. So I was a lot happier. So I didn't have the depression really going on, and it was just the anxiety. Those, while the anxiety still sucked, it's more manageable. I was still stressing. I would have panic attacks every once in a while and everything. But now I'm having them more weekly, like weekly. Before it was like maybe monthly, might be. I couldn't remember exactly how often. But I would have them, but just not nearly as often as I'm having them right now. Um, Typically on Sundays. Which is why I've been like every once in a while. Like I took this last Sunday off from streaming because of it. But when I have both, the depression's like this constant fight inside my head. Like I'm actually in a. Just think about like a boxing match, and then all my stamina is getting used up for that inside my head, and all my energy is getting used up inside my head. That I don't have the energy to do things that I need to get done, and then I fall behind on the things, which causes more anxiety because I need to get these things done. And then you're constantly falling behind on stuff because it's just a perpetual motion once you're behind on it. And so then I freak out, try to get stuff done on time, and I feel like I don't even have that much on my plate altogether. There's like, I'm not doing recordings besides the podcast and this thing I'm trying to do for another creator, which that's also stressing me out a lot, but, and then, and then I have school, but I feel like I don't even put that much time into, I have 4 classes. I put a decent amount of time into one of them. The other 3 are easy. So, I don't know why I feel like I constantly have so much to do when it feels like I don't have that much to do at the same time, if that makes any sense. I'll figure it out, I guess. Also, my camera looks crooked. I'm looking at the recording. Sorry about that. Well, like, I was freaking out this morning about the podcast. I was like, I cannot wait any longer to get this episode out. Because when you have time in between something and it's not a scheduled release, people are gonna stop looking for it, and then those people are not gonna be viewing it, and it does. I think it'll probably do about the same on YouTube, probably, but Spotify it'll probably fall off. I'm sorry, that's all I'm talking about this episode, but I guess what I'm going through now, so it gotta make sense and what my mind that is for this, and why this is a shorter episode. I think having a shorter episode is not that big of a deal. Maybe people will actually get all the way through it. I don't know how the episodes have done with watch time and stuff, actually. I haven't looked them up in a while. Yeah, don't. Yeah, but I've been just. It kind of sucks that nobody. I'm sure there's certain people that would come on, but then I was like, I wanted like certain people on because they're people I felt closer to and that would understand, and we could talk about stuff a little easier and stuff. But I don't know like what this. I feel like a lot of people don't see this as, because I mentioned it as work one time, which it is, and I make money off of it. More so than I probably should, because y'all donate so much money to me. Thank you so much, and we have so many members and stuff. But so like it a lot of people, like, I'll mention it as my job, and people will be like, "Oh, you just mean YouTube?" Heard that multiple times. Like, that's not. I don't think they understand how much like, one, I do make money off of it. Two, so that makes it a job in itself, right? Two, like the amount of time that I have that has to go into this and everything. And yeah, I put some of it on myself by streaming every day. But the streaming's easy. Like that's the easy part. And it makes me, I enjoy it. It's the one part of my day I look forward to. It's like if I don't stream, like the day just feels, it doesn't feel as good. I don't feel as accomplished. I don't feel like. And then on top of that, I likely went through the whole day without talking to anybody at all. So it's my one time to be able to communicate with people and everything. So, but even outside of that, like lately I haven't been doing it as much because of school, but like shorts are really important in videos, and which is why my channel's not doing well. It's to the point we've lost 6 subscribers over the past week at this current point. Not to be talking about that type of stuff too much, but like shorts and videos, which I need to do more of because YouTube prefers those things and pushes them, and it helps you grow a lot more. But the editing is so annoying, and then making thumbnails and coming up with new stream ideas, that in itself is time consuming. And I feel like there's other stuff that goes into it, but I feel like like I said, like that a lot of people don't see it as that. I feel like from the outside, and I feel like even like as a lot of viewers and as people like the normal society don't see it as like a real job and see how much really goes into it. I think a lot of people have this idea they can just pick up with YouTube and kind of it's just something that'll be easy and they can, like, I don't get how some people can do it on the side. Like I said, I do stream a lot, and maybe I do because I have more time to be able to put into it. I put more time into it, and other people just have their streams and don't really do much else. But I feel like I know people who work full time and are able to like do video series and stream and stuff. I'm like, I don't know how you can do that, because this is like so much. But like the whole point I was getting into that is just the fact that I feel like a lot of, at least people I know in real life, don't see it as me working, which I enjoy. I enjoy it, but I do feel like it is in a way a job. That's why you can, if I'll look at all these other content creators that I have friends that had to give up on streaming and making videos and stuff because they weren't making progress and it felt like they weren't getting places, and it takes up a lot of time. So if you're putting, this is why I've had multiple talks about like I might have to stop YouTube and stuff, and I think people are like, no, don't do it. And it's not that I want to do it, it's more so if it doesn't get somewhere to where it can be something sustainable with the amount of time that goes into it and the amount of work and effort that goes into everything, you can't keep putting that time into it if it's not going to be something that's giving the equal value to your time back to you. I feel like I am in a better circumstance to be able to keep doing it, and I want to keep doing it because it helps me so much mentally and everything. But there's still that situation where it's like it takes a lot, and it does cost money too to be able to do stuff and everything. That doesn't really play into the fact that it's a job. I guess it kind of that plays more into a fact of it looking like a not like a job, I guess. But there's a lot of jobs that take stuff like that. But yeah. And like I'm literally going to school for this stuff now with the graphic design. Like my current classes are animation. Photography kind of plays a part in this. I'm learning my camera a lot, which I think helps because I have a DSLR camera that I use, so I'm also using the same camera for my photography class, which is helping me learn a lot about my camera, which might help my video quality. This is fine, by the way. Like, I think this video quality is fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, look how bad this looks. But I want to play horror games without, like, the bright light. I want to figure out ways to adjust it so it doesn't look as bad. I feel like it could be done, because it's a good camera, and I've seen people good enough that I think comps to some of the, like, I've seen people stream with their lights off and it not look as bad. And I think it comps with a lot of those streamers' cameras, at least, to be able to, like, have it off, have enough light coming in, which I'm learning right now. We're learning about light stuff, so hopefully I can figure out something where, because the reason that's up is because it's October, so I've been playing, well, I played horror games once, but I want to play horror games and, like, do that. But I have that class. I have a criminology class, which has nothing to do with anything else. It was just a class that I had to take. I needed another class to take, and it was an easy A that I put so little time into the class. I have 100 in the class, and I think I spend like 20 minutes on it a week. I have a degree in political science. Like, I already know a lot of this stuff. It relates to classes I've taken before, even though it's not the same thing. None of my classes that I've taken in the past qualify for credit for it, so I've never taken anything on criminology, so it makes sense. It's just I've taken stuff that relates to a lot of the stuff we talk about and everything. It's actually interesting because it's a lot about, like, the psychology of the criminal mindset and stuff. Which makes sense for what it, but it's actually sort of interesting. So I'm not learning as much as I should, and it's my fault that I'm not learning as much as I should from that class. But also, it's like hard for me to, even though it's interesting, it's like I want to put the time into the other classes because I feel like the other classes will benefit me more. Especially like the animation one. Typography's like, I have typography is my other one. That kind of is useful. I don't know, the only time I really use typography though is thumbnails every once in a while, which I'm starting to try to get away from that because I've read a lot that having text in your thumbnails is not good. And then like putting text in, basically the logo for layouts is the main thing I need typography for, right? I can't think of anything else. I might be forgetting something, but for the most part, like, that's the main thing I need typography for on the channel. But it's actually, it's teaching me how to use InDesign, which is just kind of interesting to learn how to use. So there's that. Maybe I could end up having to use that for something on the channel, because that could be used for layouts and stuff if I end up having to do it. I'm learning a lot about, like, all the different Adobe programs and stuff. So my Photoshop class and my Illustrator classes, I feel like I didn't learn anything in. I learned a little bit in my first Illustrator class. The second one, well, the class is Photoshop. There's two, I forgot what the classes were called, but they're both Photoshop and Illustrator. The first one, I feel like I learned a little bit about Illustrator. I don't really think I learned about anything really about Photoshop overall. I think the second one wasn't Photoshop at all, it was just Illustrator. So the first class was Photoshop and Illustrator, and then the class that was just Illustrator, I didn't learn anything because the teacher would be like, do this. Not, the professor would be like, do this. Not tell us anything about how to do it. Just be like, this is what you have to do. So I would just use the knowledge I already had to try to get the stuff done. But that doesn't teach me anything. I didn't learn anything that way. Or I'll, like, Google something to do it real quick. But if I'm Googling something to just do one thing real quick, it's not going to stay in my mind because I'm just using it this one time real quick on this one project. I'll just have to look it up again next time, but I could do that on my own time anyway. I don't even remember why I was talking about that. But yeah, this is like, so this is like something I've invested a lot into, and I don't mean just financially, I mean all that stuff. So it kind of sucks that it feels like that. Hopefully we can start getting some guests on at some point. Sorry that I don't even know if I want to post this episode now with how I've talked about stuff, but I'm going to because I don't have time to record something else. Is 25 minutes a good length? I think I usually try to go 40. So being slightly short's not too bad. Also, I discussed it with somebody because one of my friends, who's somebody else who goes through like mental health stuff and has a lot of issues when it comes to mental health. Um, he told me like one time I mentioned something. He's like, "You might just be working too hard." I think he recognizes a lot that I think he is one that understands how much time I put into this and understands what it is and stuff. Unlike a lot of the other people. Uh, but a lot of other people, I don't know. But he was like, I think you're putting a lot of time into that. I was like, you're putting too much on yourself. And then I wrote it all out. I was like, I think even I don't realize. Like I was just saying, I was like, feels like I don't do a lot, but it's like, even I don't realize like, outside of the time it takes streaming, which doesn't feel like work at all, but it still causes like burnout and stuff. I don't know how to explain it. It's very enjoyable, and I love doing it, and I wish I could do it longer. I want to try to do it longer because I really enjoy doing it, but it's still like part of the brain recognizes it as working, so it still causes like that. It's not just like I'm sitting playing games by myself. There's a difference between it. Even though I love doing it, something about it is like takes something out of you. And I think it with that and like well, I haven't been editing, but when I'm actually like editing and making videos and getting shorts out there, shorts are so short and so easy to edit, and it felt like they weren't taking up that much time. But now that I've gotten busy with class, I haven't had time to make shorts. I was like, oh, maybe they did take a little bit more time than it felt like they were taking. It felt like it took no time out of my day to make a quick short and post them every day. So I thought I was going to be able to keep doing it. I want to try to start, like, I want to have so many, I want to build up a number of shorts that I can always have extra to go out. So I don't have to stress about it. I feel like this is more me just talking about the channel than mental health. I guess it all comes together. Saying a lot this episode too. That's what happens. I had nothing planned or anything, so it's just like coming on and talking, and so I have to think of something brand new to talk about. Like just at least I don't plan anything or schedule anything out, but I'll have like an idea. Well, so far I've just been talking about my life, so I just kind of go through the years. So this is the first episode where it's just me rambling. There'll probably be a few of these just as filler episodes at time, like anime filler. I forgot what I was saying now. That's how my mind works, though. That's why I'll often forget stuff because it'll go like, ooh, this thing, and I'll go off on that and then just forget the other thing, which causes issues in real life because I'll be in like a conversation, the other person will be talking, but something comes up and I'm like, if I don't say this now, then I'm gonna forget it, but it's something I want to say, so I'll have to interrupt the person, and I don't do it on purpose. Like I just know that's how my brain's processing it. So it just comes out. I don't think about it that way, obviously, in the time. I just recognize it as that in hindsight. There's like, I don't want to forget this thing. I want to be able to say this thing, and because I already forgot. I think I was just talking about how, but then, like, yeah, I think it's. I don't recognize how much it is. Plus 7 days a week. But like I said, like I think the effect it has on me not streaming compared to the effect streaming might have on me, I think it's way better for me to be streaming every day, especially since I'm such a momentum based person. This is another reason I wanted to get this podcast episode out. If I don't do something for long enough, like I stopped doing shorts every day. I was still releasing them every once in a while, but it was slowly less and less and less, and now it's been like over a week since I released a short. I upgraded I need to fix. I messed with my camera slightly, and now it does this weird thing all the time. I should open the app. Maybe if the app's open, it won't do that. What was I saying? But I'm very momentum based, so if I don't, I really couldn't not post the podcast because then I'm gonna end up pushing it off and pushing it off until I just not doing it anymore. But that's also another reason I feel like I need to stream every day. Because if I take one day off and then, like, well, I can take days off and then I'll take another day off. And like, I can take a couple days off and still be fine. And then it'll get to where, like, I have like a week in between streams and stuff. I don't want that. Some people out there might want that because there's mods that feel like they need to be there and might just want to break themselves, but you don't have to be there. Yeah, I think I've rambled long enough. We're gonna get like 30 minutes out of this. If you stuck through 30 minutes, thank you so much. I know it was just me. I don't even know what this was. It was just to make sure I got something out there. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, like, hey, I'm sure I could get guests on. I just need to like schedule it way more in advance than have it listed out and be like, hey, I need you to come in sometime between these couple of weeks to be able to record with me. I need to structure it more. It's probably a lot on me as well for not structuring it enough. I know I was like upset about people not, but it's also partially on me for not, like, hey, I need you to come by here from this sometime between these 2 weeks so we can record the podcast and I can make sure it's a couple weeks in advance from when it needs to come out. So I just need to get better at doing it. I'm good at ideas. I'm good at getting people together. I'm good at planning stuff. It's more so the overarching plan I can do. It's once I start having to put more detail and stuff into it, my mind just can't stay focused long enough to be like, hey, we need to do this aspect, we need to do this aspect. I can get everything else. It's the like finishing touches that I typically struggle with, and I can do it, it's just I end up getting focused on something else and then forgetting about that thing for a little while, and then and then that thing comes up and it's like, oh, I didn't really finish planning everything out for this thing. Yep, but hopefully I can manage fixing this. But we'll see. Hopefully hit the like button if you want another episode. Hopefully we're able to get one. If you'll show enough love on this one, I'll definitely make sure to get another one out there. Like I said, in my mind right now, it's kind of a toss-up, but just because that's how it's in my mind right now doesn't mean tomorrow. The number of times it's been in my mind that it's like, okay, I need to stop streaming, and then I'm still doing it because I know like it's so important to me and stuff, and I know I've proven to myself like a couple months ago, like I can do it. Like I'm struggling right now numbers wise, but there's certain things that I can. Hang on, I keep muting my mic. That I know that I can do that can help it. So just because I'm feeling that way right now doesn't mean that much really. But thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, please leave a comment, hit the like button. Just a comment, an idea, or I guess what I can do is post in the Discord, and I can have backup episodes or just discussing questions y'all might have or something. I could also put it on the YouTube channel on the community section for questions people might have, and just have those as backup episodes. I could also do streams and then turn the streams into podcast episodes as well. Just discussing stuff, and people can bring in questions and stuff there. If y'all think those are good ideas, let me know. Having backup episodes could be nice. Yep. I think I got it. This ended up being almost 40 minutes anyway. I ramble. Which is, I mean, that is what it is, and that's kind of what a podcast is anyway. But I really gotta get going. I'm sorry. I love you all. And I'll see you back here next time. Hopefully it's the first Monday of November. Oh, crap. No, it should be able to be the first Monday of November, because I'm going to be out of town the last week in October, but that Monday is still the end of October, so we'll be good. Hopefully it'll be out the first Monday of November. I don't want to delay it again. I also hate, I feel like a month apart is a struggle, but we'll figure the schedule out later. We need to get, I think right now it's more so getting it to what it needs to be, and then once it's like set in and it's structured and everything, we can start trying to get it done every 2 weeks rather than every month. But we'll see. I already said I'm sorry, I love you all, and I hope to see you back here next time, and then I started talking again. Bye.